Good evening, it's that bloke on a motorbike. I just thought I'd give a bit of an update on the situation with Ivy, the Royal Enfield Classic 350 Reborn, my beloved little Ivy. As most of you know now, Ivy was stolen from outside my house a week last Saturday at 6:15. The police have been round several times. We got it on CCTV, and they came round Wednesday night about 11 p.m. and the bike cop lad from the bike team, he told me that Ivy had been found, but she was in a bit of a state. So I asked if I could be, if I could follow him down, and he says, no, we'll take you down. So I went down to have a look at her, and they had her at Sidecar Road. Now, she's been off-roaded and completely trashed. They found her in a ditch. They found her covered in mud, and there's damage all over. I've taken some photographs, so I'm going to put those up now. If you don't want to watch, what I would suggest is that you look away, and I'll tell you when the pictures are finished. So you can see that there's significant damage all over the bike. If we start at the front end, mirrors missing, the headlight nestle, whatever you call it, where the ignition switches has been smashed all the way through. The tank is split and dented on the left side. Right hand side, the panel side cover is there, but it's been smashed in. All the batteries hanging out. Brake lever has been bent all the way back, and I'm pretty sure it's bent the frame lug as well. The back end feels loose, and she's just, well, it's sickening, as you'll appreciate from seeing the photos. So if you are looking away, pictures have gone now, so you can now look back. I've seen it that there's a lot of people, not just on the channel comments, but generally, saying that the police aren't interested. All I can say is, from my point of view, they've been very, very good. They've liaised with me. We've had officers round, and they've been out actively searching. I don't know what it's like in other parts of the country, but in Yorkshire, particularly West Yorkshire, they've got a dedicated bike crime unit, and they are actively going out and trying to stop these people. They are really as frustrated as we are. Their hands are really tied. They've got a framework which they've got to stick to. I know the Met down in London have started ramming bikes. I am totally in favour of that, but they are not allowed to do that up here. There's only certain officers who are even allowed to follow them, just in case they go and the little darlings fall off and hurt themselves, which I don't have an issue with personally. But if they were chasing them or following them and they got spooked and they started to cause injury or death to members of the public, I can see where they're coming from there. Do I think they should ram them? Yes, definitely. Would I like 5 minutes? Yes, I would. A lot of people have said in the comments that they would like 5 minutes with them as well. Well, please step behind me and we'll form an orderly queue. So after I'd been down and seen it, the police arranged recovery from a local company down in Leeds, and then I give an update to the insurance company. Now, I had reported it to Carol Nash over the weekend, and they said that would hear something on Monday. That didn't happen. Tuesday didn't happen. So once I found out on Thursday or Wednesday night that it had been recovered, I rang them on Thursday to see what was happening. And they put me through to Highway, which is the insurance company that they're underwritten it with, for them to tell me that they hadn't been informed yet. So that's a bit of a mishap on Carol Nash's point. The young girl that I spoke to, a young lady that I spoke to there, she was very good, and she's arranged for the bike to be collected from the compound in Leeds, and that's going to be collected tomorrow morning. That will be, what we're on now, that will be the 7th. So Tuesday the 7th, they're collecting it, and that's going with Fourth Dimension. They will apparently have a look at it and decide whether or not it's a write-off or whether it can be repaired. Personally, as much as I love Ivy, seeing her like that and knowing what's potentially lurking in the future, I would prefer it if she just went. It was absolutely heartbreaking to see it, as you can probably tell in my voice. So it's now a waiting game with the insurance company. Like I say, it's going to be picked up tomorrow, and then hopefully they will look at it. They'll inform the insurance or make a decision on what to do with it. The lady that I spoke to said that timescale wise, it should be within 3 to 4 weeks. I'm hoping that's the case, but we'll just have to see. It's just absolutely gutting. It really is. I need to say a real deep, heartfelt thank you for all the support and messages, offers of people wanting to lend me the bike, a donation so that I could go out and have a drink. People that have messaged me from all over the world are absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest, that these videos are watched by so many people, and your support and your messages have convinced me that I need to carry on. I will be getting another bike. I'm pretty sure it's going to be another Classic 350. Definitely will have a different name, but your messages and support have really, really sustained me through all this lot. So a massive thanks for everybody. I've not been able to reply to everybody in the comments. It's just been so harrowing, but if I haven't got back to you, please just remember that it means the world to me, what your support. Those of you who've been with me since the start, when I had the Mighty BMW, which at the moment I've still got, I think in one video I did allude to the fact that biking in general, and I'm pretty sure I was on Ivy then, but definitely biking in general has actually saved me physically from doing something, I won't say stupid, because that's not fair, but doing something that I shouldn't do. And I had said at the time that I might one day tell you about it. Well, I think this is the time to tell you, particularly with all the outpourings I've just mentioned before of support. I've been into motorbikes since I was 16. Absolutely love them to bits. Now in 2020, April 2020, we had a disaster at home. My daughter had been ill for about a week, and then we were in the first lockdown. We were furloughed from work, and they shouted me. I was outside with my camper van, shouted me in saying that she was sick. When I went in, she looked terrible. Now, I mentioned it a couple of times that I used to work on ambulance service. So I did a couple of quick checks and then called an ambulance. The upshot was that when the crew arrived, I did the handover. And unfortunately, she arrested. She stopped breathing. Her mum were holding her at the time. Her brother stood watching. She was 29. We got her on the floor and we started doing CPR and resus. And they got another paramedic in who I used to work with, and we tried everything, but after about 50 minutes it had to be called. So that day my daughter died. Becky died, and it was absolutely devastating. My job now is that I teach first aid, workplace first aid, resuscitation. So I was offered voluntary redundancy at the time, and yeah, I took it. But then 2021, I found out that they were recruiting again at the company I work for, the charity I work for, St John Ambulance, and my son said, why don't you reapply? And when I told him I couldn't, he says, well, look at this, your skills aren't being used. If you go back, and what you teach somebody stops one person from going through this hell, and one family, then it's really been worth it for Becky. Well, I can't argue with that when a brother tells me that, can I? So I went back. It is hell every time I do it, and at the moment I am off work with PTSD because of flashbacks to it and stuff like that. And then all this on top has just made it absolutely unbearable, and I've been in the right state. But all along with the channel, all of your support has been meant so much to me that it's actually kept me going. So I will be continuing. Definitely will be continuing with it. I've got plans for next year when I retire, and I've got plans to make the channel a little bit more interactive if we can, because I think we've built up a community. I've seen that you are talking to each other, you're messaging each other and answering questions, and I love it on a Friday night when these videos go out. I sit down and I have the laptop on and I'm just waiting for all these comments to come in. I used to comment straight away. I'm sorry, but the last few weeks, and that's been purely down to the state that I've been in over, first off, it all coming back with Becky, and it just triggered everything back, and I'm getting flashbacks and all sorts. And then with the bike as well, I've not been up with the game, but trust me, I do appreciate it, and I will be getting back there. On a better note, there are more videos with Ivy. I've got a tour that I did during the summer up to Northumbria and Hadrian's Wall. So that's yet to edit. That's going to be a nightmare for me, but that's going to be a little mini series that will go out over Christmas. That's what I always planned to do it, and I owe it to Ivy to do it. And there are other videos as well, which will take us just about up to Christmas. And then after that, it will either be, if they repair her, it'll be Ivy back. If they don't, well, it's going to be a new bike. But it will continue. And Ivy's Indian cousin, Vi, that's got the sidecar on, will be making an appearance as well. Now, I mentioned that earlier as well in a few videos. This time it's definitely going to happen. That's my project over winter, is to get Vi sorted, MOT'd, back on the road, and then you'll all see her. So I'm absolutely gutted at the minute. My head's a shed. So thanks again. I know I've rambled on. It's been a rambling video as this, but everything means so much to me, and you all mean a hell of a lot. So I'm glad you've stayed with me. I hope you continue to do that. One day, it'd be amazing if we could meet up with some of you. So thanks for listening to this rambling short video, and just give you reasons why it means so much and what's happening with the bike. So as I used to say, when I'm out on the road, if you're out on your bike, stay safe. Try and keep dry and warm. Keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. And I might see you out on the road one day. So bye for now, folks. Bye.